You know what song this is?
Yeah. Doesn't know the song.
It's Monday already. Almost. We're halfway through November.
I know. Less than 2 months to finish the year.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so can't play it too long because then we get banned. You know,
The
the rights and
copyright.
everything. Instead of appreciating that we're using the music, they don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, happy Monday, Juan. How are you? How was your weekend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The weekend was really eventful, you could say, but I'm doing well, thank God. So yeah, I'm doing amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, we like to start off our Mondays motivating, our agents, not just in our office, but throughout Remax, just to kind of give them a little sense of what's going on in the market, why they should be out there. It's November, yes, I get it. We're all in, everyone's in different modes, but
Hmm.
if you're an entrepreneur, you definitely have to work, and it doesn't mean being out of the trenches every day. It could be, you know what, I want to work 3 hours from home today because I just want to spend the time at home to get stuff done around here. But I let me make sure that I'm, reaching out to people. You can be so productive from anywhere. That's the beauty of our business.
Hmm.
But it's just keeping that, definite that discipline and making sure that, we're not getting lazy. It's super easy to get lazy in our business. It's super easy to get off track. So it's always important to, to be around the right people and the environment. So that's why we do recommend, coming into the office. I know it's hard sometimes, but you know what? It's going to be, harder when you're having to go back and start from scratch again, because once your wheel stops spinning, you got to go again, so work hard, build that momentum, and just keep it going. So we want to share a little bit, with the agents, like what are you seeing out there, like when I know you've been doing a lot of open houses with the agents.
Yes.
What kind of activity, what kind of feedback are you getting? What are you seeing from these buyers that are out there searching, whether they're with agents or without agents? I would like to hear some of your feedback.
So yeah, I have been going to a lot of open houses alongside with some agents. And honestly, what I've been seeing a lot is interest still is there. Like definitely the interest has not gone away. If anything, there's people, I mean, how I see it is that there's more people interested now because the pricing of these homes are a lot more competitive compared to how it was, back in the summer. And I'm seeing more people like as of now going to open houses, just peeking because a lot of people. One thing that I've noticed is that like the placement of these signs for open houses is crucial because if you do it like on a main street, you see people just see the sign and they come in, like they're just curious to see. And a lot of these people don't have agents, don't have like a lender, and those are the people that are more organic and the people that we want. So I've seen that the interest is still there, most definitely, and like the market is still hot. Depending on how you price your home, it's still gonna be a good market to sell.
Absolutely. Good morning, Josie. Thank you for
Morning.
watching. So, I kind of want to, piggyback of what you said, and it's super true. We did an open house this weekend, and just, watching the different people come in, there is definitely interest. I do see, um, there is a lot of fear in clients, and I think buyers are exhausted. I think buyers are just kind of like, okay, before looking for a home, you were like, oh my gosh, this is the one. It was so different. All I can say, it was completely different. Now you kind of don't have that hope anymore. You're just kind of like, well, I like this one, so I guess just try. It's just try,
Hmm.
try, try. And um and I think it's important to have conversations with your clients and to make sure that, you're keeping them informed. You're not leaving them kind of like, what's going on, what's happening. You're trying your best for them, because obviously that's super important. What I'm seeing on my side as a listing agent, I see agents who their clients came to open houses over the weekend on Saturday or Sunday. This morning, they're barely calling. Hey, my client saw the house over the weekend. Are you still accepting offers? Why would you do that? I mean, I understand everybody works differently, but I'm just saying, if you're committed to your client, you definitely, and you want to give them every opportunity. As soon as they called you and said, "Hey, I love this home," it's like immediately you have to be in action. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not that agent, then why don't you team up with someone? Team up with another person. And you know what? Because a lot of people don't like to do that because they don't want to share their money. But on the other token, you're not going to get anything because
Yeah.
you're not always available. So there's a lot of things to consider. But I really think that right now the market is definitely, it is better for buyers out there, but buyers have to be guided, and you have to let them know, why are they losing all their offers? Why are they not getting something accepted? You have to be okay with educating them. You can't be afraid to tell them something they don't want to hear. They're not going to appreciate that later. They're going to be tired. And guess what? Someone else is going to sweep them up, who's going to be honest with them, who's going to say, look, this is what's going on. If you would do this, well, if they would have told me that, I would have done that. So
Mm-hmm.
here I wasted 6 months or what have you. So never be afraid to be honest. Tell them what needs to be done. And guess what? If they decide that's not what they want, they don't want to do it like that, well, it just saved you time with someone who wasn't realistic. Now you can move on with someone who is. But
Mm-hmm.
you always have to make sure that you're doing your part 100%, because otherwise no results will be given at that point. You just, there's just no there's no opportunities for either of you. So
Yeah.
just make sure you're doing that. I'm also seeing a lot of agents writing offers that just are not really complete, or they're really, be very clean. And when I say write a clean offer, it's like, what? Be very straight to the point. Read the MLS notes. What is it saying? What are these sellers needing to in order? Because most homes right now are subject to the seller getting another home or closing or what have you. So make the effort. And I know not all agents will respond, but the more effort you make to make communication with them, they're going to remember you. And it's
Mhm.
like, hey, I want to write a strong offer. My client wants this home. What is it your seller's looking for? Obviously, we know they want price, but what other terms are important to them? Because not every offer, the highest offer isn't always the best offer. And I tell the agents that all the time. There's a lot more terms in there that might matter to the seller than price. So are they willing to take $5,000 less than this higher offer if this buyer is willing to do other things that they need? Possibly. So again, it just really depends, but you need to know, what those things are,
Mhm.
so you can make sure that you're giving your client, every opportunity
Yeah.
possible to get
Yeah.
that offer
Definitely.
accepted. Yeah, absolutely. So no,
Yeah,
but
definitely. I think like going off what you said is like these buyer agents need to do their homework beforehand, just so they kind of don't miss any holes when like submitting offers. So I feel like what you said is just they need to do the research beforehand, look at those notes, and make sure everything is complete beforehand, and that way it's just a smoother transaction. If so, like for you and for the buyer agent. So
absolutely. And another thing, and I try to, educate the buyers agents, especially newer agents, when you're doing an open house, it's not, okay, I'm going to do it Saturday, 12 to 4. It's not, I'm going to show up at 12 and that's it. There's so much preparation, that has to be done if you want it to be a success.
mhm.
And starting with getting to know the home. If you're not the listing agent, call the listing agent. What is it that your sellers want? What is it that your sellers have told you about this property that makes it unique? Maybe there's certain things that the seller had a conversation with the listing agent and you don't know. So tell me a little bit about it. Tell me certain things that might make sense or that I need to know, because what's going to happen is you're hosting an open house. You're not there just to open the door. You're there to obviously get business. You want to stand out. So when you have clients that walk in here, they're going to say, "Hey, excuse me, can you tell me this?" And you're like, "Oh, no, I don't know. I have to get back to you." You're of no use to this person. At that point, they're not even going to remember you. You move on, type of
Yeah.
thing. So again, it's important to know the facts. That way, if they ask you something, it's like, "Yes, as a matter of fact, this." Or, "Hey, so how soon is the seller going to be moving out?" Or what? "Oh, I don't know. This is not my listing." It's like,
Mhm.
okay, then why am I talking to you?
Yeah.
So that's why buyers want to go directly with the listing agent, because they feel, instead of waiting for you to get me the information I need, they're going to go straight to the source. But if you show them that you have all the information, then there's a purpose. And I stress so much too, also to the agents, even if even because I hear so many complaints from buyers telling me they go to open houses and that the agents are on their phones, they're on social media, they're too busy. They're like, "Oh, go walk the house, I'll see you later. Oh, do you have any questions?" No, thank you, bye. Like, you're too busy for me. So
Mhm. Mhm.
um it's super important to give them your undivided attention. That is your opportunity to act. That's your opportunity to get business. You have, what do they say? Your first impression is all you have. So guiding these people, welcome, where are you visiting from? Where do you guys live now? Small talk with them as they're walking through the house. It's helping you to get to know these people a little bit better. And guess what? Our job, once you do enough, our job, we can decide who we want to work with and who we don't. So if you're walking through that house and you're like, "Oh, this person I do not want to work with," it's okay. You're okay. You can start making those calls. Why? Because you have enough business. So
Mhm.
you want to be, you want to definitely decide, who it is that you want to work with. Because there's certain people, let's be honest, we don't want to work with. Um, so at the end of the day, I just think, again, it's important to realize an open house is not just going and sitting there. And there is work into it. And again, it just makes you better knowing about the community, understanding the type of buyers that are going to be walking through that home. Because again, depending upon where it is, the pricing, and just based off, you can look at the statistics of what type of people are they professionals, who's living in that area. And it would even be great idea, like when you're passing out flyers, the day or two before you do your open house, to get to meet the neighbors.
Yeah, that's a
It's
huge
like,
one. Yeah.
yeah, "Hey, we're going to be here. Do you know anyone? Is there anything you can tell me about the area? Is there any information I can provide these new buyers that's important? How do you guys like the schools? Do you have kids that come here? Are kids playing outside?" Because obviously you don't know those things. So again, those are important things, because when most people want to know, people are coming from, a distance, usually moving out this way, and they ask, "Oh, how's the neighborhood?" "Well, I don't know. I don't live here." Instead of saying, "Well, you know what? I actually had the opportunity to speak to the neighbors, and this is what they had to say." They're excited to get a family in this home because they have 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, or whatever the case is. So again, it's kind of like, it's nice to be able to give that feedback, opposed to, "I don't know." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So,
Yeah,
and
and walking the neighborhood, like how you were saying, like door knocking beforehand a few days before, you get a feel of, who's around the area. And most of the time, there's probably one or two like homeowners around the area that they know someone that is wanting to buy and wanting to sell. So it just takes you have to take the time to do it, and it'll compensate for doing it. So
and you're absolutely right. So there's the two homes in Harupa Valley. We actually, one of the neighbors of another, like, you guys knocked on the door, so that person actually went into the open house, and his brother and his parents are looking for two separate homes, but he
oh,
wants them
wow.
in the same community.
Mhm.
So again, they're trying to do what they can.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. A lot of times you want your family to be closer to you, or you don't want your family to be closer to you. But whatever the case is, you might know someone, who is looking, and who's better than, and Josie knows. Josie's really good at door knocking,
Yeah.
ahead of time. And again, it's just a follow-up is huge. So I'm going to give you guys a little example. So I got to spend the day yesterday with Nicole, and I wish Nicole could be on this call, but she's working her day job. And so I got to spend time with her yesterday, and just kind of showing her I have not given her any of my individual time. So basically, I guided her to input everybody that she met, on Follow Up Boss. And I told her, like kind of how to, follow up with them and everything else. And she's like, well, I don't want to seem too pushy. So I explained to her, this is why it's important. So she did all her sign-ins on her iPad. So she downloaded the app, it's free. And every time someone logs in on your iPad, when they leave, you have the option to write notes in there. So she was able to write notes and said, this person's working with an agent. They've been looking for 6 months, like whatever information she gathered from that person, she documented it. And it's nice about it is it's not out in the open, it's hidden. So no one else can see whatever she wrote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next person comes, same thing, she inputs everything. So at the end of her open house, she went back in, gathered everybody's information, exported it to Follow Up Boss with all the notes and everything else, just basically copying and pasting. And she set them up. If they were like, oh, we're just starting to look, we're not in a hurry, she put them on, those campaigns that I showed you guys for a long nurture. So someone, they're going to be getting something from her every so often, but she'll be kept in the loop. And then she added, tasks for herself to follow up with them to see, just to check in. And on the ones that were a little bit more like, well, we're working with agents, blah, blah, blah. I told her, you know what? All you have to do is check in with them once a week. How's your home search going? How are things going? They told you they had an agent, but number one, they may not like their agent. Number two, their agent may not be doing the work that they want them to be doing. They're not as aggressive, that connection's not there. Like there's just so many factors, and ultimately they're going to decide who they want to work with. So, but anyhow, she did all of that yesterday before she left. This morning, 2 people responded to her. We have a potential listing appointment this week with one of the people that came in yesterday. And then we have also a buyer who was working with another agent and is not happy with their agent. So they want to talk to her about how she does her business and everything else. So again, she was super excited this morning. She said, Sonia, you know what, she goes, I didn't go to bed till midnight last night because I made sure that I did everything you told me to do. And I'm super proud to say that it's important, you guys, you spend your whole day, and not even your whole day. Like I said, you're spending even days before preparing for your open house. But the purpose of it is to be successful. You want it to be a success. And it may not be instant. Not everyone gets instant results. That's okay. But again, you're built, you're planting that seed. You're constantly watering it. Follow up. Money is in the follow up because so many agents lack follow up. And the agent in our office, they have the systems. You guys have the tools, to be able to use them. And I can't stress it enough. I can see when you guys log on and log off, and I can see who uses it and who doesn't. And so that's why I know who's really in there, following up and doing what they need to do. So again, make sure that, you guys are following up. There's tons of business out there. There really, really is. And there's a lot of new builds too. So make sure you're visiting those new builds. If you're doing an open house, make sure you know what's within the radius as well, because we got people walking in here saying they're comparing this to the new builds that are a half a mile away. So how would you feel if you don't know anything about that? It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. So you have to know your market. You have to know your inventory. So that way you can tell them, hey, as a matter of fact, there is new builds. Are you interested in new builds? Great. You can make an appointment. You can take them. I've actually done that. I've had clients walk into my open house and they're like, I like this, but I actually would like something newer. Wow, there's these 2 new builds. If you're available at 4:00, when my open house is over, I can take you because it's important for me to go in there with you to get you the best deal possible. They're excited about it. And I've
Mhm.
done that. I've taken people from my open house and signed them in, and they found love and got the home. And all I did was walk them over there. So again, you guys have to be, definitely educated. And that's what your job is every day. So when you wake up today and say, oh, I don't have any clients, I don't have anything to do today. No, you do, because you don't know everything about the market and what's going on. So you need to be educating yourself if you don't have any, appointments, or you need to be on the phones, calling people or calling your past clients. It's Thanksgiving. It's, hey, I just want to wish you a happy holidays. I hope your family's safe. I know a lot's going on, and people start talking,
Yeah.
and that's how it goes. We're in that business. We're in a business where we get to pick up the phone and have conversations and make money from it. It's really, really a blessing if you see it that way, because a lot of people feel like, I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm bugging. I feel like I'm this. But you know how many people want to speak to someone and don't have someone to talk to? A lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are working from home and are going crazy being at home.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything else to do. Their spouse is at work all day. By the time their spouse gets home, its kids are home, and the day goes, and you're just like, so don't overthink it.
Yeah. One thing that I've been seeing, like I've been kind of just telling myself, is every person is an opportunity. And it's like that's how you have to see it, not in like oh, I'm bugging them. Just, and another one is like you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's like these two are like go hand in hand. So it's like just do the call them, go to those new builds, just see who you can meet there, and just go from there. Because it's like, these are opportunities that can be given to you. You just have to go out and hunt for them. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, we're here to help you. We're here to guide you. Juan's great. You know, I see that, you follow up really well. He's on top of it. You're building good habits. And that's the key, is to build those good habits. Sometimes it feels like it's a lot of work. It feels like, why? But you know what? You're building, you're building, you're building. Just like they say, Picasso didn't paint his masterpiece in one day, or they didn't build the London Bridge in one day or whatever.
mhm, mhm.
It took time to stack each one for it to be what it is. It's the same thing. You're building your business. And I know we all get frustrated at times, or we feel like, what is this going to, is anything going to happen? It is. You just have to believe in yourself. Number one, mindset is everything. It's
Mhm.
everything. So if you're around negativity, if you're around people who don't believe in you, you need to as hard as it is, sometimes it's family, but you need to make sure that you turn that off. You don't have to be rude about it. You can just simply say, I'm busy, I'm busy working on my business, and that's it, and do what you have to do. But I highly recommend, and I challenge you guys. I challenge you, if you're not seeing the results that you want, you have to change. You have to understand that you can't be doing the same thing over and over and over and expect different results. So you do have to tweak things. And that's one thing about our business. I've been doing this for 25 years. Am I doing the same thing I did when I first started? No, I'm not. I'm doing it even better, smarter. The same connections and stuff, that doesn't change. But there's different ways you learn as as you grow, and as you get experience, you learn, and you start realizing. And the sooner we learn that it's not about us, don't take anything personal, it's about them. What are their needs? It's their family. We deal with families who are just lost a loved one, who are going through a divorce, who maybe there's a life-changing event, they're moving across country, not by choice. There's a lot of things. And then you also have the ones where they just got married, they're excited to start their life, or just different things. So
Mm.
we have to be understanding, and that's what they want more than anything. Because I know a lot of people were talking about, oh, these iBuyers are going to take over, and there's not going to be a need for agents anymore, and we're going to do obsolete. There's no way, because we humans are about emotion. Emotion is every single one of us. So I don't see someone saying, okay, I'll deal with to buy this online. Like, there's just no way. If you're providing the service and they feel that you're guiding them every step of the way, that can't be replaced. But the minute you're not providing value, and we as agents are showing them that we don't have to talk to you, we don't have to, interact with you, then maybe we are going to change the way things are done. Kind of like I tell myself all the time. If I go into Best Buy, I'm going in there because I want someone to help me. I want someone to know about the products that I'm trying to buy. Hey, I'm interested in buying a camera. This is what I want it for. Tell me what's the best camera and why. But if I walk in there and they're like, I don't know, or there's no one there to help me, then what's the point of going into the store? I'll just buy it online. Do you see the difference? So it's important
Yeah,
that
that's a good comparison.
yeah, these employees and employers need to know that they need to hire people, number one, who love what they do and who are educated on their products. And it's the same thing for us. When someone calls us and says, hey, I want information on this home, it's important that we know we're already, you know, we're educated and we can guide them or make them feel like, hey, you know what? I don't have that information. That home is brand new on the market, but give me a quick second. You're always logged into your MLS. Always. That's your money. That's your money there. You got to do it. So anyhow, I'm freaking pumped for the week. I have
Yeah, me
a lot
too.
going on. I'm really excited. I can't, like I said, I can't stress it enough. You love what you do. It shows. People are going to want to work with you because they love your energy. They want to be around positivity. So you got to stay strong as hard as it is. Do I have bad days? Yes, I do. Believe it or not. Would you know it? No, you wouldn't. I try not to let certain things show or whatever. I deal with things on my own. But again, when it comes to work and what I have to accomplish, I'm fired up. I'm excited because it has nothing to do with my clients. We have a lot. Everyone has their own things going on, a lot of things going on. You can't let it consume you. Your issues, your whatever you're dealing with is still going to be there when you come home at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So just put it aside, focus, and then go back and then deal with it how you need to deal with it, or whatever it is. But
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
saying, make sure that your clients know that you're not, your business is not going to interfere with them. Stay positive on social media because that is so important to be positive. So thank you, Josie. So we'll go ahead and let Juan share his quote for the week for us, for the agents out there that he wants to share. So go ahead, Juan, share it.
Okay, give me one sec. It should be up now.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, so my quote, I chose this one because I actually started reading this book. It's called Failing Forward. And as like a little bit background on myself is that I just graduated Cal State Fullerton not too long ago this June. And it was great. I went to my university, got my degree. It was challenging, but we're here, we made it. And once I kind of got on board with Sonia and Francisco, it was definitely something new, something that I wasn't really like expecting. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I was someone that really never saw failure in like my classes and my in life. Really, I was just always like punctual. I always knew what I had to do to get things done, and ever since I joined here, I was like, you know what, there has to be like a different approach because obviously this industry is really hard. It's really hard to get started, and we're bound to fail. Sometimes we can fail. It can be something small, something big, and this is one of the quotes that have been kind of resonated with me because I've been reading this book, and it's been like really really helpful, like with my mindset, with my like way of thinking. And the quote, it says, "If we look long enough for what we want in life, we're almost sure to find it. Success is in the journey, the continual process, and no matter how hard you work, you will not create the perfect plan or execute it without error. You will never get to the point that you no longer make mistakes, that you no longer fail." So that's something that I kind of take within me every day, and just enjoy the journey, enjoy the success within the journey, and yeah, enjoy the failures too, because if you fail, you're going to be closer to succeeding than if you weren't to fail. So
Absolutely.
yeah, this is something that I just take on every day, no matter what I'm going through, and yeah, I look up to it every day.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I mean, that's a great book. I love John Maxwell. We actually had the privilege of doing some coaching with some of his team, and it's like I said, a lot of times, we need that. We have to be, headstrong. We definitely have to. We have to have thick skin. This business is not for those that don't have that. You really have to have that, because you can't take things personal. You have to know, what, I got to learn from this mistake, man. As hard as it is to swallow sometimes,
Mhm.
I've made mistakes, and I've shared with the agents. There's been times where I actually had to give up my whole commission and work for free because of a mistake I made. But you know what? I knew that I had to own up to it for me to learn, because I would never make that mistake again. So believe me, I've been through a lot of different things. That's why I try to share with the agents. I want them to learn from my mistakes and things that I've done. But again, I understand they have to go through their own, trials and
Yeah.
errors and everything else. But I'm hoping that they can learn, a few things from me, so they don't have to do that. Like they say, why change it up if why reinvent the wheel? Um, but it's true. Not every day is going to be a great day. There's going to be days where we just can't make it happen. But again, it's all about how you view things, and it's all about how you handle it. And the one thing that I want to stress is, making your clients feel safe with you. There's going to be a lot of disappointment. Nobody likes to give bad news, to their clients. Like, hey, you didn't get that home again. Hey, you didn't get that home again. Hey, you didn't get that home again. It's so hard to give that news, especially when they're like, please, Sonia, this is our home. We want it. Sonia, please do whatever you can. Sonia, it's like, it's like,
Mhm.
man, you're really trying.
Yeah.
But you just have to realize that, again, keeping them informed, letting them know, hey, you're doing everything you can, and just showing up for them. I think that's one of one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're having, like you're saying, a bad day. But if you fail, it's not bad. You just got to pick up, get yourself back up, and think about it and move forward, and know that there's more opportunities in that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very, very well said.
So go ahead, Juan, and go ahead and show us your video. Get that ready. So yeah, like I said, I really enjoy John Maxwell. So that was a
Yeah,
good
it's a
one.
great book. Yeah, if anybody wants to like read something that kind of will help, your mind, Failing Forward
Mhm.
is a really, really, really good book. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Ready when you are.
You are. Go ahead.
Okay.
Every champion has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit. See, in your life, everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. No way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what. Don't you give up on your dream. I don't care if you don't have the money, you don't have the help, and you don't have the background for it, and you don't have the friends for it. Don't you give up on your dream. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. It may take you twice as long. You may have to take courses and classes. You might not read as fast. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much. But don't you quit.
A person's character is not judged when they ride a wave of success when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
I want the guy who struggled. I want the guy that failed and could still get back up again. Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has wakened you. And some of you, as long as it's a perfect day, you operate in excellence. But as soon as the circumstances change, you quit, you give up. So what makes ET different than everybody else? Every year I just kept going. And I kept going. And I kept going. And I kept saying, one day gonna be my day. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna quit in the process. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do in these days of darkness? What you gonna create? You gonna sit there and whine and cry? Or you gonna use the creative powers, the creative juice your God gave you?
Don't expect people to understand you. Don't expect it to make sense to anybody why you've got to do this, why you have got to go, why you leave. This is a good job. I'm going. They pay you well. I'm going. Why? I don't understand. You don't have to. I'm going for me because I've made a different kind of commitment with my life. This is something I have got to do.
It's not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
They say, what are you doing, man? You're out of your mind. I don't understand what you're doing all this for. You know, it doesn't make any sense. But the person inside believes it. F what they say. I don't care what they think. I understand that, of course, I believe it.
Stay the course. Give yourself a reason to wake up. Stay the course. Give yourself a reason to get dressed.
No matter how impossible your situation may seem, stay on course.
I guarantee you cannot pass it if you quit. I guarantee you're gonna fail, but you don't know what's gonna happen if you keep going.
Will you stay the course? Before life is over, you got to go through everything. You gotta speak to yourself. You gotta stand up or life will tear you down. You gotta make up in your mind. It's tougher than I thought it was gonna be, and it hurts more than I expected, but I'm gonna keep on hopping till I cross the line.
This is what you do. You are built for this. You would just believe that your day coming, that the sacrifices you are making today, they gonna pay off. But if you do not believe, it ain't gonna happen.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, it really, really gets you pumped up.
Yeah, no, and that's why I encourage, like when I'm driving, I'm really not listening to music unless I'm going to the gym. If I'm going to the gym, then yes, I'd like to listen to music because I want to get excited for that. But for the most part, when I'm working in between appointments, I love to listen to different podcasts of, of different, inspirational. I love Tony Robbins. And like you said, John Maxwell, Brian Buffini. I like to listen to a bunch of different things just to keep my mind going and getting excited, getting excited. So again, just showing you.
Yeah, and like how you were saying, like say you're going to an appointment, you're listening to that energy that you're receiving from like the video, the podcast. It's gonna you're gonna give it out to like those clients, and they'll feel it, and it's something that'll have them stick. It'll stick with them. They'll be like, man, like Sonia's really motivated. She's really full of energy, and even that little 5-minute video can make a huge impact on like someone else. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You don't know what people need. And when you walk through that door, energy's real and they feel it. They're excited. They might've been scared, like, oh, I don't, and a lot of people are, they feel like, dang, if I invite them into my home, it's going to get real and they're afraid. But you coming in, breaking that ice and being positive and just giving them direction. That's all you're doing, being honest, giving them direction and ultimately letting them make the decision on what's right. It may not be their timing. That's okay. But now, you're setting yourself up, you're gaining experience, and you're learning, from, whatever it is that you're doing, maybe to handle things differently, or, I did a great job, even though let's just say that you don't get the business in that moment. You did the right thing. You're going to, continue to follow up, and then you'll be surprised, what other things it leads to. So,
yeah.
But thank you so much, Juan, for joining this morning. I appreciate that. And again, agents, if you need, assistance with your open houses, reach out to Juan. He's always available. He's great. He'll go door knocking with you beforehand and make sure you guys really, really get out there. So that way you make 100% use of your day that day. Working as a team is super important. You can't do it alone. It's just too much work. You'll have more success, when you team up. So don't be afraid to team up. So thank you guys. Have a phenomenal week. Next week's going to be a short week because of Thanksgiving, but happy Thanksgiving. If we don't talk to you guys, we hope you enjoy your time with your families and your loved ones. So take care, and we will see you guys soon.
Thank you guys. Bye.